It is Thursday, the 28th day of July 2022. Hello there, and welcome to News Tonight here on UBC TV. First though, let's have a look at our top stories. President Museveni addresses priorities for Uganda to EAC integration. NRM's Herbert Ariko in early lead as Soroti by-election results trickle in. Busongora North residents anchor NRM votes on land titles. And Starbucks International partners with Texol of UAE. Hello there and welcome once again. We are coming to you live online and on air from Broadcast House here on Nile Avenue. On sign language, it is Elizabeth Nakakuni and I am Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma. Now, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has addressed priorities which Uganda is undertaking to achieve the goal of East African integration. The President, among others, cited market for goods and services and strategic security as the stepping stones to the victory of the East African community integration. Now, this follows the concerns raised by stakeholders during an induction of members of Parliament on EAC affairs who questioned the delays in achieving the EAC integration. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni was the chief guest. Take a watch.
Let it be said of you that during your watch, that is the period during which we had an East African currency. Let it be said of you that is during your watch that we had one East Africa with one president. Let it be said on you. Your Excellency, I look forward to those days, and I'm asking the heavens.
Truth nobody wants to talk about.
A two-day induction of members of Parliament under the Parliamentary Forum on East African Community Affairs has officially been opened by the President of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni.
See?
Since its inception in 2018, PIACA, among other institutions, fronted four pillars, including Customs Union, Common Market, Monetary Union, and Political Federation, as avenues to realize EAC integration.
So the movement of persons is still a problem. What about capital? I think capital is also a problem. And when you consider that, for instance, the partner state of Uganda, we don't have a bank. We are relying on Equity Bank, a Kenyan bank. I call it the Bank of Integration because they are all over East Africa.
President Yoweri Museveni reveals that Uganda had to first strategically position itself on building the capacity of local market and security in order to look beyond integration.
So, strategic security for your people. This is what we are begging you. Mariam begged you until he went away. Oh, no. Now, somebody here could say that, oh, if that is the case, then we have economic integration only. We don't have to have political integration.
PLO Lumumba, also a celebrated East African smooth-tongued icon, fronted the idea of unity as the only solution to what he described as the new scramble for Africa. Lumumba wants institutions preaching integration to be grounded on the hearts of the people across the region.
Let it be said of you that during your watch, that is the period during which we had an East African currency. Let it be said of you that is during your watch that we had one East Africa with one president. Let it be said on you. Your Excellency, I look forward to those days, and I'm asking the heavens to preserve me that I may see them. Your Excellency, we are in a good space.
If people were listening to Museveni, would have had a federation long ago. So you want to convince your new government in Kenya, and you see we shall be able to, we can move.
Amanya Mshega, the former Secretary General of the East African Community, has challenged members of parliament on the journey of integration. Amanya asserts that the delay in achieving the vision of integration dwells from leadership weaknesses, urging the parliamentarians to fight tooth and nail to expedite the integration process.
Let me say it clearly, there are some member states who have not paid their contributions for over 5 years. And yet the members continue to draw salaries and enjoy the benefits. I think something should be done to make, if you join a club, you join it and its rules and regulations. My fellow golfers will know that we have some people who come to the golf club and because they are big, they want to play with escorts around them.
Dickson Kateshumbwa, the chairperson of the Parliamentary Forum on East African Community Affairs, noted that there is need for the East African community states to develop friendly laws to allow an opportunistic environment to promote regional market.
So as we get new members on board, we need to do our work as parliamentarians. One of the issues we need to deal with is how do we domesticate the laws that are enacted in Arusha.
President Yoweri Museveni has lashed out at enemies of integration, saying the struggle to achieve the goal will continue nevertheless.
Many of the actors are not wealth creators. They are not part of the wealth creation. Many of the actors are wealth consumers. They are the ones, the bureaucracy say what. They consume wealth, but they don't produce it. So they don't know the challenges of wealth creation. Because if you are a wealth creator, you would know the importance of the market. Market internal, market regional, market international. Germany, this Germany you see now, by 1871, was not one country. It had 39 kingdoms. Prussia, Saxony, this one, Bavaria, 39 of them.
The session was also attended by the Speaker of Parliament, Thomas Tayebwa, Daniel Mugoya, Gloria Gutabinji, UBC News.
Thanks, Daniel and Gloria, for that story there. Now, in his address to the nation last night, President Yoweri Museveni said the safest investment that will navigate Uganda from the current situation is in science. The president was reacting to the key question in the country at the moment, which is the skyrocketing commodity prices that are affecting Ugandans.
The president said that the magic bullet is to put money where it is safe, as he re-echoed the challenge of the high cost of living because of the so many things happening in the world and how it affects the common people here in Uganda.
Now, I came back here again to talk about the high cost of living because of so many things happening in the world. The present hike of commodities, as I said the other week, really starts with two issues. Number one was the corona. But at the same time, another problem was coming up, the problem of fuel, the problem of petroleum.
The president outlined the 20-year plan for the current rising fuel prices, saying that the safest place for the country currently is electric vehicles, where petroleum will no longer be used.
And where is the safe place? Two places. Number one, electric vehicles, electric buses, electric lorries, electric minibuses. They're even talking of electric bodas I hear, and electric cars. Fortunately, we had started building these vehicles. We were not doing it because we knew that petroleum would become a big problem, but we were doing it in order to develop our country. Of course, we were also looking at assembling and fabricating the buses of the diesel. When you use petroleum in cars, it increases the amount of carbon dioxide in the air, and the whole world, the Carbon dioxide is like a blanket, does not allow heat to escape into beyond the atmosphere, and therefore you endanger the climate of the globe.
He urged Ugandans not to get worried that the country's petroleum prospects that are expected to start in 2025 with the first oil flow will not be as prosperous as anticipated. The president said, other than petroleum for vehicles, the country's oil production will be on demand for the manufacturing of other products such as polyester, which accounts for 65% of the clothing industry production. Sandra Kahunde, UBC News.
Now, President Yoweri Museveni has urged Ugandan scientists to remain firm on the country's dream to develop a pathogenic economy. Now, this simply means research on diseases caused by viruses and bacteria and how the diseases can be treated. The scientists have already started on the journey of manufacturing COVID-19 vaccines, as we see in this story.
Now, then also, Mirzao, we are busy with the vaccines. Maybe we can hear from Professor Kalebo Ponsiano.
And you even brought us the term of a pathogen economy. For those, to simplify it, pathogens, viruses, bacteria, parasites, are all pathogens. Can we use those? We have a lot of pathogens, viruses, bacteria in Africa. But can we use that as an opportunity? Instead of crying we have diseases and all that, use it as an opportunity to innovate. And the task you gave us was on vaccines. And we have progressed, and I want to just brief listeners where we are. We have our scientists, unfortunately, some are not here, but I'll represent them as their leader. But also talk about a few other innovations within the pathogen economy. We at Uganda Virus Research Institute, using the facilities and the funding we have received from the government, we are working on two vaccines for COVID. One is inactivated COVID vaccine, and the other one is using a vector, or I could call it a vehicle, to carry parts of the COVID virus. Inactivated means you make the real virus, SARS-CoV-2, inactive. A vaccine works by deceiving the body. The body thinks that it has been invaded by the real virus, but you have modified it so that it doesn't cause disease, but it switches on an immune system so that you produce getting the chemicals to inactivate. Took us time. Now it is being purified, and from the results we got that were presented to us the other time, we just need to purify it a little bit more, so impurities of the cells where it has been grown. Then we are going to work with our colleagues at Makerere to move this product into the preclinical using mice, and they have already got the Swiss mice. And the reason you do this, you don't go into humans straight away. You first check that your vaccine will induce or will produce the required immune response in these small animals and the mice. If it works well, then we shall also do what we call.
Now, President Yoweri Museveni has said the problem of high commodity prices will be solved soon. While addressing the nation on Wednesday evening, the president said the problem came as a result of lockdown due to COVID-19 that saw companies close businesses, leading to reduced supply of commodities. He said now that the economy is opening up, this will be solved since Ugandans have woken up and started producing.
President Museveni has continued to attribute the current high costs of living not only to the COVID-19 shocks, but to various other global effects like Russia's war in Ukraine, increased global demand on petroleum, which is destroying the Earth's ozone layer.
Now, after almost 100 years, something of using petroleum, it has turned out to be a big poison. When you use petroleum in cars, It increases the amount of carbon dioxide in the air, and the whole world, the carbon dioxide is like a blanket, does not allow heat to escape into the beyond the atmosphere, and therefore you endanger the climate of the globe. So after 100 years of using this material, the whole world is now saying, we are dying.
He said that since petroleum is being phased out, it has caused scarcity on the global scene and high competition among countries that need to run their economies.
It goes into everything. That's why you find even matoke from Bushenyi, from Chenjojo, is also expensive. Why? Because the vehicles carrying it are using fuel which is very expensive. So therefore, the question is, what do we do? Some people have been saying, remove taxes on some of the fuel. Others say, subsidize. But we have advised you that that's not wise.
He continued to say that petroleum is being phased out now that countries are changing their sources of energy to solar, nuclear, wind and hydropower. Ugandans have been called upon to support the Global Climate Change Action Plan campaign of reducing 70% of fuel emissions to the earth by 2030.
So recently, there was a conference in Scotland. I didn't go, but Dr. Gunda went there, and they said petroleum must not be used in cars after 20 years. So that's how now the companies which have been looking for petroleum stopped. They are no longer looking for the petroleum. They are no longer looking for new petroleum. So the small amount of petroleum which is already known, the price has now gone up. Even before the war in Ukraine, it had gone from I think it was $60, it had gone to $80. With the war in Ukraine, it went to now 100.
He has also called for public support in adopting the electric vehicle market that Uganda is molding.
Wadulo Mark Arnold with that report. Now, Uganda has now 2 known armored vehicle manufacturing plants in Jinja and Nakasongola, respectively. The plants manufacture armored vehicles for the military and civilians to increase the layers of security. President Yoweri Museveni launched the second plant in Nakasongola, where he emphasized that importation of armored vehicles will become history in the country very soon. Ivan Kahwa reports.
President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has launched the National Enterprise Corporation Strait Facility in Nakasongola district. This is where armored vehicles are manufactured and assembled to provide security solutions under a partnership between United Arab Emirates Strait Group and NEC, the UPDF commercial arm.
Joint ventures offer other advantages, including shared expenses, technical expertise and know-how, bigger markets, sharing risks, intellectual property gains, and many synergy benefits.
Military vehicles, bullion vans, transport carriers, marine boats, ambulances, vehicles for VIPs and CIPs are manufactured at this plant, sitting on 30 acres.
We provide an answer for every type of insecurity. Car robbers, robbing banks, a bullion van to which it cannot be pierced by bullets. Rioters, you saw their medicine here. You manufacture for them. Terrorists, you get an answer for them.
This is part of the UPDF strategic defense policy that intends to provide security not only in terms of crisis but also to deter criminality.
So our scientists are doing a wonderful job. They are acquiring a lot of capacity to produce quality products which can make us stand on our own in many areas.
UPDF seeks to have a dedicated power line to enable smooth flow of their operations at the facility.
Because the problem is the distance of this line and the overload that it has. We have constructed a substation at Kasana, and the license to construct a new line dedicated to this is already issued by the regulator.
The second one is on the upgrade of the road network here. So you come along Tamak, then when you get at the barracks, you come to this Maram road.
I am going to direct General Katumba to link up with the companies which are building government roads in the area of Hoima now, Hoima Masindi. Once they finish, they should come here and do some of these roads coming here.
This plant promotes local capacity building, provides skills for on-job training in UAE facilities, enhances mobility, firepower, and operation efficiency.
This plant also helps us to cushion UPDF against irrational arms embargoes that are normally put on countries that promote stability because it interferes with imperialism ideas and protect our independence in this increasingly contested strategic environment.
The head of state was impressed by UPDF's resilience to have the facility operational and pledged to further support the market strategy of the products.
So that we rule out imports. We don't have to import, we can use these ones here. And I can assure the manager that we shall buy from him. I will no longer allow buying from other sources when this capacity is here.
This is the second armored vehicle manufacturing plant in Uganda, the first being located in Magamaga Jinja district that produced the known Mamba-based Nyoka armored personnel carrier. Ivan Kahwa, UBC News in Nakasongola district.
Ni MTN Kabode Super as you pay mpola for this smartphone. Make calls, update your WhatsApp status, watch YouTube, and Google anything under the sun with 2 GB worth of data every month for 7 months. Simply make a small deposit of 99k and pay the balance mpola. You can pay in daily, weekly, or even monthly installments while you enjoy your new phone. So what are you doing today? Visit any MTN shop near you and get the MTN Kabode Super easy.
A World Cup in the desert? The first one in the Middle East. The first to be held at the end of the year? That's crazy. Get ready for spectacular moves. High-flying saves. Unbelievable goals. Out of this world celebration.
Would you believe it? What a moment here!
All 64 matches live. That's over 5,000 action-packed minutes of the FIFA 2022 World Cup Qatar. Now that's crazy. Catch all the action only on SuperSport, your world of champions. On Go TV. Love it.
The Oil and Gas Moment, brought to you by Petroleum Authority of Uganda, creating lasting value in Uganda's oil journey. The development and commercialization of Uganda's oil and gas resources is being undertaken through 4 flagship projects, which will bring in investment over $15 billion into the economy. The Kingfisher project will produce 40,000 barrels of crude oil per day at peak. The Tilenga project will produce 190,000 barrels of crude oil per day at peak. The 1,443-kilometer East African crude oil pipeline project will transport the produced crude oil to access the international market via the Tanga port in Tanzania. The Uganda refinery project will process up to 60,000 barrels of oil per day to provide petroleum products to the Ugandan market and its immediate neighbors. Additional exploration work is ongoing in the Kanyotaba and Ngasa areas in the Albertine Graben. For more information, visit www.pau.go.ug. Petroleum Authority of Uganda, creating lasting value in Uganda's oil journey.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Molt Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602.
Meet Professor Petero. He knows something every hustler in UG is gonna love.
Oh, see. You see, I was just trying to get the documents to register for Airtel Money.
You don't need the documents. You just register.
What's going on here?
He sells things from the shop, and behind my back, he gets the money and gives it to his girlfriends.
But just get Airtel Money Pay so that all money comes direct to your business wallet, and only you, the owner, have access to it.
Just dial *185 *10 hash, and now you are on. No waiting.
Huh? This insanity is sweet. Give them also.
I only take Airtel Money Pay. It's easy and secure.
Yes, become a safer and more efficient cash-free business today. Easy.
No mixing your business money with your Kameza money. No, that's efficient.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
It's a full-time job to be a great parent or guardian. The decisions we make impact their lives forever, and getting a birth certificate is one of the most important ones. All you need to do is get a birth notification record stamped by a medical officer from the hospital where the baby was born, or from the sub-county chief in case it occurred at home. Go to the NERA offices in your area and present the notification record, copy of parent's ID, and bank payment slip of 5,000 Ugandan shillings for citizens and $40 for non-citizens. Fill NERA Form 3 while there, and a birth certificate will be issued to you. Please note that birth certificates to refugees born in Uganda are free of charge. For more information, visit the NERA office closest to you or call 0800-211-700. This message is brought to you by NERA.
Enjoy more GBs for the same price on Airtel. Shareable using to Gabonais. We have increased GBs across all your favorite packs. Now, 4 GB is at 10,000 shillings and 10.5 GB at 22,500 shillings, all valid for a week. For the heavy data users, enjoy 24 GB at 50,000 shillings and 50 GB at 100,000 shillings, all valid for a month. Dial *175 hash or use the My Airtel app to buy these and more affordable weekly and monthly data bundles on Airtel, the smartphone network.
Welcome back from that break, and this is News Tonight here on UBC TV, and a warm welcome to those of you just joining us. Elizabeth Nakakuni is on sign language, and I'm Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma. Now let's go to Soroti, where the by-election has been taking place there, and news trickling in is that NRM's Ariko is in the early lead as his main challenger, Moses Atan Kia trails. By press time, NRM's Herbert Ariko was in the lead with a bigger margin of approximately 6,000 votes from his rural supporters, while Atan Okia's central business vote of 4,000 could not close the gap. However, these are preliminary inconclusive results as we wait for the final results from the tally center, which has just opened. Soroti East constituency has 63 polling stations in the 13 wards with 36,442 registered voters. Whereas the exercise has been peaceful, there were isolated pockets of violence witnessed. Newly appointed Minister for Sports Peter Ogwang was chased by FDC supporters at Mora PC Primary School in Kengere Ward on accusations of interfering with the exercise. Deputy Lord Mayor Kampala Doreen Nyanjura was also arrested earlier in the day over the same allegations. The story is still developing and we'll give you the details as we get the results because we are represented at those polling stations. And of course, we'll be giving the updates as our reporters who are best in Soroti town give us the results as they trickle in now. Residents of Kasanda sub-county in Songora North County constituency in Kasese district have notified particularly the NRM party that failure to hand them land titles for their promised land come 18th August 2021 during the parliamentary by-election, the party candidate will be voted out. The furious residents have been meeting the Lands Minister Judith Nabakoba, who is currently in the region, to iron out land-related matters. Take a watch.
Much of the land in Kasese, as early as 10 a.m. residents of Karusandra sub-county in Kasese district had started convening at the sub-county headquarters for a lands meeting. They were all waiting for the lands minister, Judith Nabakoba. The meeting commenced with locals raising a cross-section of land-related matters.
Much of the land in Kasese falls under government coffers. National parks, Queen Elizabeth Reserve National Park in the mountains, and also land left for the Wanawiji is not sufficient.
With a population of over 25,000, the area is popularly referred to as the United Nations for Kasese district, as it houses tens of tribes.
One of the challenges is that though we have this land, we do not have the land boundaries of the sub-county boundaries.
Residents are living in suspense after the lands ministry failing to fulfill the presidential pledge of securing land title for them. Under this land, the meeting was also informed about the shrinking political dominance of NRM in the area arising from such situations.
Umukasi district ikirabasa kutunga cyenda mitano cyenda n'umunani percentage kunkuba hati bizira cyengera. The people of Karusandara love NRM. The people of Kasese love NRM. Due to the shortfalls that we had before,
the Lands Minister Judith Nabakoba addressed the meeting.
We are going to first create a title in the names of Uganda Land Commission, which is a government agency. After creating that title, they are supposed to come on ground, engage you again with a list of the applicants who had applied, but then that's when we shall start the process of systematic land adjudication to be in position to know who is where and how many acres do they hold. That is the process which is going to take place.
However, as if Minister Judith Nabakoba's communication did not satisfy many.
Babade wegedenti gatebana tuka kukaluru basaba mukama wange bagire kye balabyeko kuchapa hati ejitu nabatali mukabona bino bisu no title no vote
echapa mbagambi bagenda chikola bachikwase bana abakuru. By this week that title must be ready.
Later, the minister had to chair the meeting of top district leadership for further harmonization about the other land shortfalls in the area.
No, people never believe in the same, think the same way, but as leaders we are trying our level best to see that the coexistence is there and real.
I'm going to send my Minister of State, Honorable Sam Mayanja. I'm going to write to him to come to Kasese to handle the different issues of land in Kasese district, because there are so many.
It is echoed that as the district heads to next month's by-election, if these land uncertainties are not urgently ironed out, this is likely to cost the party in the 18th August 2022 Busongora County Parliamentary by-election. Robert Onyango, UBC News, Kasese.
The Mufti of Uganda, Sheikh Ramadan Mubaje, has flagged off a team of the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council Inaugural Electoral Commission, which will spearhead national elections for Muslim leaders countrywide. Now, this follows the coming into force of the new Muslim Constitution review. Sheikh Mubaje urged the team to be truthful and honest, saying the task ahead is a daunting one.
The place which was left by the former General Assembly. And during its last sitting, the Assembly is mandated to put in place an electoral commission which is going to carry out the forthcoming general elections, to put in place new structures, elective structures of the council. I congratulate all of you upon being entrusted by the General Assembly, the last General Assembly, to be in charge of the new process of the elections of Uganda Muslim Council structures. I congratulate you all. Thank you. And may Allah guide you in your new assignment. A simple task. It is very challenging, very tempting, very tasking. So I pray that Allah enables you to overcome all those hurdles which may be in your place.
We have been behind doors doing some small preparations, but now we are going to do the big preparations because we have not yet been flagged off. Now we thank God that this has happened today, and by next week, by end of next week, we should be having a certified roadmap.
Uganda Parliamentary Forum on Social Protection has asked the government to consider giving out a modest cash aid to individual families as a short-term strategy to manage the current crisis in the region. The chairperson, Parliamentary Forum on Social Protection, Margaret Kabahenda, also says government should revise the social protection beneficiaries' age and payout.
Immediate. Government should take advantage of the systems and structures created through SAGE programs to roll out a top-up emergency cash transfer intervention.
2 weeks ago, several tons of food relief items were sent to starving communities of Karamoja region, and a total of about 135 billion was approved as emergency fund to manage the hunger situation. However, the situation has continued to attract criticism from all corners and factions, asking government to clearly define the short-term, middle-term and long-term strategies to avert the crisis.
I'm only disappointed that when it comes to response, we have short-term response. And as a country, we don't need that, because Karamoja has been the most vulnerable in the whole country.
A section of members of parliament hailing from the region are not yet convinced with the emergency short-term relief strategies that government offered, with allegations that some communities have since not received any relief.
Even the 135 billion we are talking about, it should have been treated as an emergency. There is actually no food which has gone there. And even by yesterday, we lost 2 women in my constituency of Nabwali in Napak. So the food has not yet reached and people are still continue to die.
A call has been made to government to redraw the social protection program for Karamoja in particular by increasing the payout amount and reducing the age bracket for the beneficiaries. Margaret Kabahenda, the chairperson for Parliamentary Forum on Social Protection, says apart from food relief, a modest financial payout should be given to individual families, especially the vulnerable elderly.
Under the proposed top-up emergency cash transfer intervention, all older persons aged 60 years and above should be supported with shillings 100,000 to buy food and other basic necessities of life.
She says Karamoja should also be used as a case study to track the hunger and poverty gaps in other regions.
This Karamoja would be a case study for us now to start analyzing what is happening in all the regions of the country.
There are so many other parts of the country where people are just silent. Human beings are dying, but it has not yet really reached this level of having death of over 400 people.
Karamoja, compared to other regions, remains one of the regions heavily affected by hunger and poverty, with children and the elderly being more affected. Susan Naonga reporting for EBC TV.
Kampala Metropolitan Region Traffic Police Commandant Kauma Sereko has decried the substandard quality of border helmets on the market. He urged concerned authorities to expedite revision of the standard regulations regarding importation of these helmets. This is during a transport safety and helmet use regulations breakfast meeting organized by the Uganda Road Accidents Reduction Network Organization at Hotel Africana here in Kampala.
Border helmets can contribute to a 42% accident reduction in risk photo injuries if used properly. A report by the Uganda Road Accident Reduction Network Organization, URENO, has revealed. The report also reveals that the use of helmets in Uganda is only more observable in urban areas than the upcountry areas, a trend which also calls for uniform enforcement of the relevant traffic and road safety regulations regarding their use.
This intervention is timely, and we want to educate, we want to strengthen the regulations so that the situation is controlled.
This will help in the reduction of injuries and fatalities on the road with the motorists, especially with the motorcyclists. This can be done by raising people's awareness, especially those using the motorcycle.
The Kampala Metropolitan Region Traffic Police Commandant Kauma Sereko decried the increasing substandard helmets imported into the country and urged relevant authorities like UNBS to expedite their regulation standards.
And then others put on just simple helmets that are like outdated. Some of these helmets you could see in the movies of way back. And they're the ones they're using. They don't have even fasteners on the sides. And we're saying those are not protecting the rider as they should.
Dickson Mujuni, the General Secretary of the Kampala Central Uganda Border Industry Branch, decried the high costs of the standard helmets, which goes between 150,000 Uganda shillings to 200,000 Uganda shillings on the open market, a situation which encourages most riders to buy the substandard ones as low as 20,000 shillings and 30,000 shillings in downtown markets.
So we urge our riders, helmet wearing is not about anybody, it's all about safety.
Officials from the Ministry of Works and Transport, Uganda National Bureau of Standards, Ministry of Trade, Ministry of Justice, Parliamentary Forum on Road Safety, among others, attended the meeting. Edward Kolinjuko for UBC in Kampala.
The government is to focus on building on requisite infrastructure such as roads, improve investment and directing most of its efforts on government programs like the parish development model to maximize benefits to the populace. While launching the multidimensional poverty index report, a State Minister for Planning in the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, Amos Lugolobi, said such statistics are essential in monitoring development performance, especially at household level.
Uganda Bureau of Statistics has released and disseminated findings from a survey on various ways in which people are deprived of essential needs like housing facilities, clean water, health, education and electricity, termed as multidimensional poverty. The first multidimensional poverty index report indicates that 17 million Ugandans are poor and cannot access either one or two or even all of the things they need to live better lives. This percentage is, however, higher than the income poverty that stands at 20.3%, where poverty in Uganda was rated in the 2019 2020 National Household Survey Report.
All aspects of deprivation beyond income are covered. You can be out of the income poor, non-income poor, but you are deprived of, for example, electricity, clean water, or health.
The report also indicates that households headed by women are more deprived compared to male-headed households. It, however, recommends that education can help reduce multidimensional poverty. According to findings in the Multidimensional Poverty Report, 9 out of 10 Karamojong suffer some form of dimension, and Acholi is among the regions that is deprived in other dimensions. Economic experts, however, say the report excluded poverty indicators like isolation, shame, security and other elements in household such as disability. Government, since the creation of the Poverty Eradication Plan focused on elimination of poverty, it has emphasized on refocusing its efforts to consider poverty in all dimensions through building requisite infrastructure and investing in government programs.
To the published income poverty indicator of 20.3% of our population, that this multidimensional poverty index is at 42.1%, which means that when you look at poverty in its entirety, you still have a big challenge. Now we're going to be able to understand that the population has access to roads that enables them to market their products, that this population that we are dealing with has access to electricity that enables them to access various things.
According to development partners, the report implies a need to look beyond income criteria in measuring poverty. To accelerate the development agenda, UNDP representative recommends Uganda to focus on industrialization and the parish development model.
In this context, we need to shift the conversation to how local economic development can be jump-started to facilitate production, manufacturing, and create employment. It should also be noted that at the level of parish, effective public administration and management of natural resources will be key factors, success factors. In this context, the PDM could be an effective tool for accelerating local economic development as well as industrialization.
As Minister of Finance looks at the multidimensional report to help in the process of reviewing National Development Plan, experts say it is an important tool for resource allocation and targeting. I'm Nafka Farida and Juma Samba in Kampala.
Ministers and members of Uganda Development Forum have visited Liao Shan Industrial Park in Namunkekera, Kapeka on a study tour during the official opening of the forum's annual conference 2022. The two-day development forum, chaired by Operation Wealth Creation Chief Coordinator General Salim Saleh, will have discussions on mutual challenges and identify business opportunities.
Ministers, private sector, economists, and Uganda Development Forum member agencies have visited Namunkekera Kapeka Industrial Park. They also visited Kawumu Presidential Farm, set as a demonstration by President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for good farming practices. The visitors recommended General Salim Saleh for championing the economic revolution in Kapeka. Operation Wealth Creation Chief Coordinator General Salim Saleh chaired the discussions aimed at identifying business opportunities.
You go through the number one is security of persons and property. Number two is privatization and liberalization. Number three is the return of Asian properties. Number four is diversification of crops, market integration, introduction of UPE and USE, cost of doing business, corruption.
The keynote speaker, Professor Augustus Nwagaba, tracked Uganda's economic performance, nicknamed Musevenomics.
Yeah, the colonial economy was a peasant economy and it was dominated by
subsistence production. We had a medium of exchange which was largely through barter trade. We didn't have this thing you call money in your pockets, which there are papers. There's what written there, legal tender.
Nwagaba blamed government for not solving the land issues, which is an obstacle to investment.
The major problem which we have for business, for investment, is the land question. And this land question manifests in a land impasse where you have owners of land who do not occupy the land they are owning. Scenario systems created a multiplicity in ownership of land. So once you have that multiplicity, then you have a problem in land ownership and access. This has caused problems in business and also in investment, especially public investments.
The Minister of Finance, Honorable Matia Kasaija, said despite skyrocketing commodity prices, the country's economy is steadily improving.
The economy has started going up. The only thing that has now again disrupted us is this bad weather, the drought. Times are hard for sure because of rising prices, but as time goes, the markets are going to sort themselves out, and eventually the economy will begin to grow.
Uganda Development Forum is aimed at unlocking new opportunities for inclusive growth. Haruna Mtesasira, UBC News.
Let's go to Sudan now, where Uganda's ambassador to Sudan, Dr. Yahya Semudu, has called upon Ugandan traders to occupy the wide coffee market in Sudan for economic development and transformation. During the meeting with diplomats from Sudan at his residence in Entebbe, he emphasized the need for Ugandans to occupy the growing stable market for coffee and other Ugandan products. He also asked Ugandans living in Sudan to use the embassy in Khartoum to apply for the new passports and national identification documents.
Interested in trade between Uganda and Sudan, there are so many opportunities which I believe our people can take advantage of and engage in business, especially in coffee, tea, cotton, and so many other commodities. As we talk now, Sudan is the third major exporter of our coffee. They export our coffee from here, and they take our coffee in big quantities to the Republic of Sudan. So this is one of the major areas which I think our traders, the Ugandan traders, can benefit from, being the major, the third biggest consumer of our coffee in the whole world, and the first in our continent, in Africa, and also the first among all the Arab countries. The fact that there are so many Ugandans out there who have not yet accessed the new electronic or digital.
We'll now take yet another short break and we'll return with business. Do stay with us.
At Timex Nutrition Center, we advise you on the right foods to eat, exercise profile to adopt, and lifestyle strategies which are compatible to your blood group and genotype. This empowers your body to prevent and treat many diseases like diabetes, blood pressure, arthritis, ulcers, obesity, and many others. For more information, find us at our head office in Kampala on Nassa Road, Conrad Plaza, 2nd floor, or call 0758 819 952 or 0778 288 361. We also have other branches in Mbara and Jinja.
Vimba! Ni MTN Kabode Super as you pay mpola for this smartphone. Make calls, update your WhatsApp status, watch YouTube, and Google anything under the sun with 2 GB worth of data every month for 7 months. Simply make a small deposit of 99k and pay the balance mpola. You can pay in daily, weekly, or even monthly installments while you enjoy your new phone. So what are you doing today? Visit any MTN shop near you and get the MTN Kabode Super easy.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Mold Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602.
National Council for Higher Education will hold the 4th Annual Higher Education Conference on the 14th and 15th September 2022. The conference theme is Enhancement of Teaching, Learning and Assessment with Ordeal in Higher Education. The guest of honor will be the First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Honorable Janet Kataha Museveni. The conference will be held physically at Hotel Africana for only invited guests and open to online participants via Zoom webinar that will be shared under the events section at www.unche.or.ug. The keynote speakers are Ezra Nazim, Senior Fellow of Higher Education Academy UK, Professor Hank Gerald Sola, a Dutch organizational theorist and Emeritus Professor of Business, Engineering and ICT at Groningen University, the Netherlands. The National Council for Higher Education is receiving papers from researchers and scholars for publication in the Uganda Higher Education Review, Journal of National Council for Higher Education. For more details, send inquiries to cmuhumuza@unche.or.ug, info@unche.or.ug, or call 0783 040024 or 0704 800926 +256 39 32 62 140/4.
Are you a player in the tourism sector with a struggling business following the COVID pandemic? UDB, in partnership with European Union, is providing financial assistance to businesses operating in the tourism sector. You can access subsidized loan with grants, loan with a tenor of up to 5 years, free business advisory services, and free environmental impact assessment. Visit www.udbl.co.ug/call for applications to apply. Deadline for submission is 31st October 2022 at 5 p.m. For more information, please call 0414 355 509.
Enjoy more GBs for the same price on Airtel. Shareable using to Gabonais. We have increased GBs across all your favorite packs. Now, 4 GB is at 10,000 shillings and 10.5 GB at 22,500 shillings, all valid for a week. For the heavy data users, enjoy 24 GB at 50,000 shillings and 50 GB at 100,000 shillings, all valid for a month. Dial *175# or use the My Airtel app to buy these and more affordable weekly and monthly data bundles on Airtel, the smartphone network.
Did you know it is mandatory to have all births registered and a birth certificate issued? Failure to do so attracts a penalty of imprisonment or a fine. It's proof of age and belonging to parents, protects and provides children with legal rights from crimes and abuse like defilement and child labor. Give your children a good future today and have their birth certificates. For more information, visit the NERA office in your area or visit our website www.nera.go.ug. This message is brought to you by NERA.
Welcome back from that break, and this is News Tonight here on UBC TV. Let's have a look now at what's happening in the world of business. A rising political temperatures in neighboring Kenya ahead of the general election is likely to take a toll on Uganda's most preferred Northern Corridor route. While unveiling a partnership with Texel of the United Arab Emirates, Starbucks International Marketing Manager Otim Gilbert disclosed that they are monitoring the situation and utilizing other routes. Here is our senior business reporter Dennis Sigua with more on that.
Kenya, an East African Community member country, has entered full electioneering mode with the general election slated for the 9th of August 2022. As the election draws closer, Uganda's business community involved in imports and exports are wary of the political developments.
The situation is getting dynamic all the time, and there are so many factors that have been blended into this current crisis. You know, we are having our brother in Kenya having elections coming up in a few weeks, and the lesser the days to the election, the more tense the situations around the borders and the trade.
As the saying goes, once bitten, twice shy. The oil marketing companies led by Starbex International have in the recent month resorted to utilize Tanzania's Dar es Salaam port as well as Tanga.
We chose the Central Corridor route because we saw a big advantage in the future. It is more stable. It is not prone to a lot of challenges like crossing of the border because it is connected with Mwanza and Kampala through the Lake Victoria. So when we use both the marine and the rail, you find that there are some costs in between that are brought down.
This was disclosed at the unveiling of a partnership between Starbex International and Texol lubricant manufacturers from the United Arab Emirates in Kampala. The collaboration is expected to provide alternative high-end and mid-range products for motorists.
Things are more favorable now. Even your government has supported us. UNBS has tested our products, and I think they have also approved it. By the way, we are already IOC certified plant, and our product has been tested by most of the OEMs, original equipment manufacturers, and we are confident enough that our products are giving a good performance across Africa.
From the white petroleum products, we launched gas at COVID time. We launched gas, and today we are launching lubricants, and many more will be coming.
With Uganda planning to set up its own fuel refinery in the near future, which is part of its downstream phase of oil and gas venture, government is confident of having such products manufactured locally.
You refine the usual products that you are conversant with, but in addition to that, we have petrochemicals where all these lubricants will be catered for. We're only looking forward to that time, and then the trend of business here will change.
Dennis Igoa and Juman Samba for UBC News.
Sports news now, and we look at cricket, where the cricket cranes are training in Entebbe as they prepare for the last round of the ICC Cricket World Cup Challenge League B tournament. The tournament will be played in New Jersey between the 2nd and 15th of August 2022.
Following its T20 World Cup qualifiers in Zimbabwe, where they came in 4th in Group B, the Cricket Cranes entered camp in Entebbe to train for the forthcoming last round of the ICC Cricket World Cup Challenge League B qualifier.
And yeah, the boys are preparing to depart on Friday. Experience again. You know, we played against some very highly rated sides. We lost 2 games to teams that went to the World Cup last time. And I think again we keep learning. We learned a lot from Netherlands and PNG, and hopefully those lessons will be shown off on the field when we go to Jersey. I think we will always try things out. Deus Momuza is back and he's fit again, so hopefully he'll be in the side.
Uganda had a very good start in the League B Challenge, winning all its matches in the first round that was played in Oman in 2019. In the second round, played here in Uganda in June 2022, the team came in third with 6 points after winning 3 matches and losing 2. For a week now, the team has been in training, putting emphasis on stamina, resilience, tactical bowling and batting. As they head to Jersey, the national cricket team is optimistic, promising to strive for the best on the pitch.
Yeah, conditions nadala kati ejaze agamba wicket ziri slow tuzanyire ku wicket zibadde slow nyo Zimbabwe, so adjustments zino beerawo kyogala tukikolako wano ku practice twaga tuzanye wetutuuka eri buli kye tugenda kukola wano leero ku practice yaffe tukikola nga tutunuulira ejaze, so wickets zigenda beera slow abazanyi balina okitegeera nga tukyali wano.
The League B Challenge is part of the qualification pathway to the 2023 ICC Cricket World Cup in India. The last round of the ICC Cricket World Cup Challenge League B tournament will be played in Jersey between the 2nd and the 15th of August 2022. The Cricket Cranes will face Jersey in their first match on the 5th of August. Uganda needs to finish top of the table to move to the ICC Cricket World Cup playoffs, from where the top two teams will advance towards the 2022 ICC Cricket World Cup qualifiers to be played later this year. Grace Joyce Kemigisa, UBC News.
That sports story brings us to the end of this first edition of News Tonight here on UBC TV. Thank you so much for having kept us company. Elizabeth Nakakuni has been on sign language, and I am Rukidi Edward Kijananguma. Catch you at 10. But for now, we'll leave you with Kutesa Mili with the weather forecast for tomorrow.
For tuning on UBC, my name is Kutesa Mili with your weather update. We are still experiencing isolated thunder showers in most parts of the country, and due to that we had the highest of 1 millimeters of rainfall across Ilila, but the rest of the places received light showers. Seeing the satellite picture, we have the rainbow diffused over our country due to the weakening of both the northern and southern cyclones over that side, in combination with moist winds coming from the Indian Oceans towards our country, bring us the isolated thunder showers that we are experiencing lately. Tomorrow morning, though, we expect to wake up with isolated showers most parts of the country, apart from some few areas across Karamoja regions and southwestern of our country that is expected to have sunny intervals. Afternoon hour, though, we expect a continuation of thunder showers in most parts of the country, apart from still Karamoja regions expected to continue with sunny intervals in combination with the Mbarara. Tomorrow morning, temperature to raise up to 29 degrees Celsius in most parts of the country, 30 degrees across Karamoja regions, 27 in capital city Kampala, Kabale Highlands with 25 degrees Celsius, Kasese with a highest of 32 degrees Celsius. Is moving out of Uganda, touring the cities across the globe. The few ones that we have for you, like in Nairobi here in the neighborhood, are expected to have sunny intervals at maximum 21 degrees Celsius. New York with cloudy conditions and light thunder showers at maximum 29 degrees Celsius. London and Dubai with sunny intervals. Pretoria will be pretty hot at maximum 22 degrees Celsius. Thanks for tuning on UBC. My name is Kutesa Mili. Stay tuned and see you tomorrow.